Hi, everyone. My name is Patty Huber, and I worked at the Department of Industrial Relations for 25 plus years. My most recent role there was an assistant chief. For the last 10 years of my employment there, I spent much of my time bringing units onto the Salesforce platform. And that included our Bureau of Field Enforcement over at the Labor Commissioner's Office, our licensing and registration, and most importantly, our wage claim unit. And I shouldn't forget retaliation claims, but most importantly, our wage claim. We spent a lot of time ensuring that our wage claims were appropriately handled, and we receive over 30,000 claims a year at the California Labor Commissioner's Office. So that became really important. And so we were putting our unit on the Salesforce platform. And during that time, I had the pleasure of working with an incredible vendor called ProPoint Technology. After I retired in 2023, I started working with ProPoint as an executive advisor to their labor solutions practice and have really enjoyed that new role. And I also get to stay in touch with some of my folks over at the Department of Industrial Relations, and you will learn more from them in a little bit. And so today we will talk about searching, calendars, and task management. Salesforce can be an asset when it comes to managing a large volume of wage claims. It's fully customizable to the needs of various labor departments, as seen with the various features of the platform that processes our online wage claims. COVID presented challenges that really made us look at the way we handled wage claim processing in California. Our constituents could not come into the office to file their claims. We were having issues getting those claims online, as well as keeping our own staff safe and allowing for remote work a large majority of the time. We determined that an online wage claim portal would not only allow the claimants to be able to file those claims online, it would also be able to allow staff to be able to process those claims more easily online. It also allows labor departments to handle high volumes of wage claims being filed, and management of the claim can be handled from inception to closure. As I said before, over 30,000 wage claims per year are filed in California, and we're at 70%, at least as of the time that I left in 2023, 70% of those claims are now being filed by the public online. Prior to using the Salesforce platform, we were a highly manual, very siloed system in California. And so for wage claims, we had 16 different wage claim offices, and each of those offices had their own database that they were using. And so you couldn't see at a glance whether somebody had filed a claim in Bakersfield and also filed that same claim in Sacramento until the employer notified us. So that was very important to combine all of the wage claims that were being filed in California. In-person filing was happening a lot prior to COVID, and the online platform allowed folks to file their claims, and the platform is very user-friendly. We have lots of information to help the online filers be able to get through that form easily. The tangible benefits for the user just cannot be overstated. The user can check their claim where they're at, they can see where it has been filed, and they can also see whether they have any meetings upcoming, any conferences or hearings that they need to attend. We no longer had paper that we were having to track in our wage claim offices. So being able to see the claim and work the claim online allows for better management of a claim. And also our supervisors were not in the office all the time either, so they can easily see what's going on with any particular claim. It allows folks to be fully remote, and it also allows for less rework of a claim. What we're going to be demonstrating today is fully on the Salesforce platform. The pain points that we were able to identify early on allowed us to be able to customize a build that would solve some of those pain points. The community portal, for example, that's what I was talking about earlier, that allows a claimant to be able to not only file their own claim, but to track the progress of their claim. There are internal workflows. For example, when a claim comes into the office and it gets assigned to a deputy, the status of the claim is automatically updated. And that happens many times throughout the life of a claim when there's a conference scheduled or when there's a hearing scheduled. The other thing that happened with the online claim project was that we allowed for text messaging. So the employees and the parties get notice of any upcoming conferences or hearing via text messaging. It also allows for us to communicate with our constituents or our claimants using text messaging to ask for ad hoc things. You know, we noticed that your mail came back and maybe we need a new address for you, so we can easily text message to get that. There's also an e-signature. We joined the 21st century and allowed for e-signatures, which had not been done previously. We allowed for data integration with third parties. There are API accesses so that if a union has a large volume of claims that they want to file at once, they can do that via an API. We have dashboards that we can easily see at an office level, at your own case level, or at a higher management level, what's going on in any individual office or the program statewide. And then we also allowed for document storage. We no longer have those paper files that those papers had to be uploaded and have to exist someplace because we still need access to forms and other notifications. And so having that storage capacity has been key to, you know, as you can imagine, 30,000 claims a year, how much paper that generated in the past and how many documents still need to be uploaded. Now, saying all that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to a coworker of mine in the past who is still at DIR, Gurvinder.
Hey, so hello, my name is Gurvinder Kandola. I am a senior deputy for the Labor Commissioner's Office here in the state of California. I've worked for the Labor Commissioner's Office since 2016, and I've been part of various special projects involving the IT side and the business side since November 2020, which is exactly when the online wage claim platform began, and was a leading subject matter expert on the development of each step of the online wage claim process for the Labor Commissioner's Office. So we have this calendar section, and it will show for us all active meetings and the date of time of those meetings. So you can get a quick snapshot of your month here, your week, and exactly how many items you have scheduled. This is the sandbox version. These two dates are just the dates I input on the cases that we use for testing. You can see here on August 1st, I had a meeting that was going to begin at 12 o'clock and is scheduled to end at 1:30. If I had meetings before this, that would stack above. If I have meetings after this, they would list below this 12 p.m. meeting. If I click the actual meeting itself, it takes me for the specific event. And then from this event here, I can click on the actual meeting button, and that'll take me to the specific meeting for that case. And here I can see who should be showing up for this meeting. And here with the CM, I jump to the front page of that case here, and I can take a look at exactly what to expect on this case. There won't be any tasks for today, but we can look at the entire list of tasks that are assigned to me. So all open tasks. So we can see that there's been a couple payments on cases, and this task had a due date of 7/25 and 7/27. You'll see them listed from oldest to youngest. It'll list the open tasks, and if they're overdue, the date will be in red. But then the task itself, you click it and it'll refresh the little section to the right here and show you the information about the task. These tasks are auto-generated based on a previous action. So for this one, there's been a payment on a case that's assigned to me. So once the payment information is entered, I would go to this specific case payment and allocate those payments accordingly. So if I click that case payment allocation button, you can see the amount of that payment was $99.99, and this has previously been recommended, but yes, it's all set there and been posted. So the activity section here shows the task. So this little icon is an email. This green icon is a task. I can click the specific task itself and mark it complete here with this button, or I can just click this checkbox and indicate that it's been completed. Then once I go back to my task list, it's now just one task outstanding instead of two. There's different ways you can kind of break up these tasks. So if you have a whole list of tasks and it's overwhelming, you can look at stuff that's just for today. You can look at stuff that's overdue specifically, or the entire list of open tasks.